Hello and welcome back to my channel, and today we're taking a look at Dead Rising Deluxe Remastered. Now, Dead Rising was originally released around 2006 and it's found its way here thanks to Capcom's effort. Now, the problem, however, is this is a demo version. The full game is out for a while now and everyone is going on about how badly built this remaster is, because apparently there's stutters and crashes and freezes and people are trying to fix it, and that's only half of the things. Anyway, let's look at the graphical settings and talk about the requirements. Number one for the requirements is the GPU. The minimum GPU they want you to have, or should I say Capcom wants you to have, is a GTX 1060 6GB version. For recommended GPU, they want you to have GTX 1070 Ti. And for playing this game in 4K at 60 frames, they say you need RTX 3080 or AMD Radeon RX 69 XT. Which, in all honesty, makes very little sense. Anyhow, we're gonna go with a 2K native resolution. Refresh rate is, well, as the high refresh rate goes. Frame rate is variable. You can cap the game up to 120 frames, but if you have higher refresh rate monitor, then variable will actually allow you to go closer to your actual native refresh rate of the monitor. Display mode full screen, everything is cranked, vertical sync is off, and here's the thing. Texture quality, texture filtering, all that good stuff is maxed out. And as you can see, from a get-go, this game supports all three upscalers, should I say, which is the FSR, Intel Xe, and DLSS, including FrameGen. And this, I guess, strikes me a little bit odd, because for a game where with the recommended GPU being 1070 Ti, including the DLSS FrameGen, which is only available for 4000 GPUs of NVIDIA side, unless of course you're going with an FSR, it just kind of makes me think if the devs actually, or whoever was in charge of this remake or remaster, maybe they were informed about certain issues. I do not know. So we've done our due diligence. Let's start a new game. And we're just gonna do a casual run. I did try to run this game twice, and despite this being a demo, it kinda did crash a couple times. So even when I was going through the paces, I thought maybe there's something off, so I had to just verify the files, and even went as far as reinstalling the graphical driver, because a lot of people are saying that you need the newest and freshest drivers from NVIDIA and so on and so forth, while others say that that's not going to help in any way or shape or form. Apparently, the moment you are in the shopping mall, people are experiencing stutters, very high frame time, frame rate drops as low as 20, and they're just not happy about it. So what do we see here? We're pulling 9 gigs of video memory for now, 9.7 of RAM. GPU usage is non-existent, almost actually 80%. That's not good. So I'm gonna try to speedrun this down to the mall as quickly as I can. The problem is I don't exactly remember how to get to the mall, to be fair, but I just don't want to waste any more time, because in here, in very secluded locations or isolated areas as I call them, there's obviously nothing to render, nothing to show for. So let's get into the actual mall and go from there. We will watch at least the first cutscene and keep an eye on the MSI upper left. We're gonna see how that works out for us here.
Hey, bring that over here.
Right, and even during the pre-rendered cutscene,
Quit screwing around.
we're pulling 11 gigs of video memory and 13 gigs of RAM, and look at these stutters. The scrolls were telling the truth. Wow, okay, I would never really expect this to happen. I know people on Reddit and on multiple forums can be a little bit antsy about games requirements and performance, but those spikes in frame time for the game that looks like this.
Hey, this is no time to ogle pretty girls, son. You're looking to get yourself eaten.
Wow, okay, Capcom usually is pretty decent when it comes to their games, and honestly I have yet to find a game that doesn't run stable, honestly, unless you modded the living daylights out of it. Right, what do we see? We see very low GPU usage. CPU usage is all over the place. We're not seeing actual evenly distributed load across all cores and threads. We're pulling 17 gigs of RAM and we're barely pushing 7980 frames. For this? Wow. Okay. I truly hope this is not the future of gaming, because this would be very upsetting. Yeah. 80 frames in 2K. Wow. Okay. I could understand that FXA and TA at the same time might be a little bit taxing, but the GPU usage does not reflect being actually utilized, which honestly is kinda weird. It might actually mean that something else is going on somewhere.
There should be plenty of that stuff deeper in the mall here. Now go. We gotta keep those guns.
Okay.
Perfect.
Got the level up. Wow. Now, granted, I never played the original one back in 2006 or 7 whenever it released. So I don't know if all the hype about this game's characters looking way different and minimizing the impact of interactions is actually true or not, but just standing and doing nothing and seeing how the frame time just goes up and hiccups without us doing anything is enough for me to be very upset about the performance. Okay, let's see what we get here. Let's go below the cutscene and get some zombies in. Okay, so the zombies in the mix instantly drops us. Especially in the Middle Ages. At least GPU usage has gone up, which is good. Wow, okay. We're pulling more and more RAM for less and less performance. Now that is always a good news. Now granted, there's quite a few videos out there that actually tells you how to supposedly optimize this game to the point where it actually doesn't stutter or at least hiccup that much, but it is quite crazy that this is required. I mean, I would honestly not expect that to happen. I would definitely not expect this to happen. I could grab some supplies in the security room, but I think it's kind of unnecessary at this point. And yeah, while we're outside, 150 frame times 1. I think something with the location is just a bit odd.
Have you seen my wife, Natalie? She should still be around here.
I'm not entirely sure why inside the play area we would have such huge dips. Anyway, let's head in.
Hey, it's Otis back at the security room. Can you hear me, Frank? Let me give you a rundown of the mall's layout so you know what you're doing. Right on the the other side of the warehouse, you'll find Paradise Plaza.
We have acquired a gun. Okay. Let's go and have a look-see. Yeah, this is not smooth at all. You can literally see the spikes in the frame time here. And we're just standing still, just shooting a gun. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little bit speechless. Like, I do not see this game as something that warrants a use of DLSS or frame gen, but if those options are in, it kind of feels like the devs actually knew what they're doing. Now, in my previous run, when the game crashed, or should I say the demo crashed, I did try to cap the frame rate at around 60, then 120 and so on, and honestly I was getting the same thing, but I just chalked it down as the driver issue, because I was reinstalling some drivers, you know, the studio driver and stuff like this. But this is... wow, this is... I don't think this is 100% playable, to be fair. Wow, Capcom has really dropped the ball on this one, I'll give you that much. And don't even get me started with the requirements to run this game, actually, because when we look at the minimum CPU requirements, or even the recommended, the minimum CPU is an Intel Core i7-6700, and recommended CPU is i7-8700 or Ryzen 5 3600, which honestly is very reasonable requirements for, to be fair, mid-range gaming PC. And if you pair these CPUs with anything above 1070, you can run Resident Evil Village, actually, easily. and this particular remaster just stutters while we do nothing. And Resident Evil Village actually looks 100 times better than this. I mean, let's be real here. This is... there's no way around this.
Jeez.
Okay, let's just run around. Let's try to annoy these things. I'm just keeping my eye on frame time graph. Look at these spikes. Literally, these spikes is just something else. I don't see any texture loading in or flickering. I do see some shimmering around certain edges, which might be just the anti-aliasing playing its tricks on us, but I mean, nevertheless. That was a professional hit detection right there. That looks absolutely normal. Okay. Can I jump on this shopping cart? Come on. Oh, come on, game. You would not allow this to happen. I see. Well, yeah, the performance is how it is, to be fair. Pulling almost 18 gigs of RAM, 11 gigs of video memory, and having these drops. It's not exactly my idea of fun, but oh well. Yeah, well, you know, I don't think I have anything more. I was kind of expecting a different story than from what all the people have reported, and we're talking people with like 12 and 13 gen CPUs, Ryzen 7 78X and so on, and with 3080, 4080s, and they were complaining about game stuttering, and my game is running from NVMe drive, even if it's just a demo. And if this is the current performance of it, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Is this really the... If this is the future for the remasters from Capcom, we are in a very hot water now. Okay, come here. Right. Of course.
Do we have good news for you? We're only weeks away from our long-awaited
Anyway,
anniversary.
I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do let me know if you're running this game. Have you bought it?
On the 10th,
Is the full version running exactly the same as the demo, or is
the greater Willamette
it just something else? Maybe it's just my rig. I don't know.
for a variety of fun and games
Yeah,
for
not impressed at all.
all ages.
Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Come true
Over and out.
and